Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Narayanam Padmabhavam Vasishtam Shaktim Chatatputra Parasharam Cha Vyasam Shukam Gaudapadam Mahantam Govinda Yogindra Matasya Shishyam Sri Shankaracharya Padasya Padma Padam cha hastamalakam cha shishyam tam totatam vartika karamanyan asmad gurun santatamanatosmi shruti smriti purananam Alayam karunalayam namami bhagavat padam shankaram loka shankaram shankaram shankaracharyam keshavam badarayanam sutrabhashya krutau vande bhagavantau punah punah samasta jana kalyane niratam karunamayam namami chinmayam devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Namah Shri Shankarananda Guru Padam Bhujanmane Savilasa Maha Moha Graha Grasaika Karmane. In this chapter 6 of Panchadashi, we saw the picturization of a beautiful canvas painting. That's why this chapter is known as Chitra Deepa. The white canvas, well washed and clean, is compared to pure consciousness, Chit. And in that very canvas, for the sake of getting ready to paint, the starch has been put to make it firm, and that association with the starch is the Chidabhasa, otherwise known as Antaryamin, the reflection of consciousness. What is the difference between Chid and Chidabhasa? The very word Abhasa means A Samantat Bhasate iti Abhasa. It shines, it reflects, it appears, it manifests. So they getting ready for the painting, that very starch that is put is a readiness for an action, readiness for a thing to be happening. So, two, Jiva, who is basically a Chidabhasa only, essentially supported and substratum of that is Chit, consciousness. Then on that, the grids are made or the frame is put with a mashi. Mashi means black ink. And that is compared to here as what? Sukshma Sharira. That is Chaitanya associated with individual body, individual subtle body. Sukshma Sharira Yojita Chaitanyam, Yukta Chaitanyam. So that is what is the preparation for the painting in the form of a frame, black frame, color is put. Then the painting. The painting is what we visibly see, and therefore that which is very manifest and seen for interaction in the world is known as Stula Sharira. And that is where varieties come, colors and shapes and other things. You want some water or something? So, and in that, in the 5th verse, it is Brahmadhyaha Stamba Paryantaha Praninaha Atra Jada Api. Even though all of them, Brahma Adhyaha, from Brahman onwards, Stamba Paryantaha, up to the blade of grass, Praninaha, all living beings, Atra, here, Jada Api, even though they are essentially inert as far as the Stula Sharira is concerned, gross body is concerned, Uttama Adama Bhavena Vartante Patachitravat. According to the Uttama higher, Adama lower categories, Uttama Adama Bhavena Vartante, they appear, they exist. Patachitravat, like that of the picture which is painted on the canvas. In the canvas also, various things are there. As he said, Chitrarpida Manushyanam Vastra Bhasa Pradak Pradak Chitradharena Vastrena Sadrsha Iva Kalpitaha. So even though there is Chitra Staha, all of them are there in that very picture itself. Chitrastha Parvadadinam. So we, where is it? Verse number 6. Okay. Chitrarpida Manushyanam Vastra Abhasaha. Today also in the congregation is saying, how many of you are wearing blue color? How many of you are wearing yellow color? So I told them, see, varieties of colors you are wearing. So I told them that when you come for Holi next week, you should all wear white only. Only when you wear white, and then any color you put, you will be seen. You are wearing black. Any color you put, it will be gone. You cannot even see it. So the white background of pure consciousness, in that the colors that are there present at the the grossest part of it makes the differences. One is blue, one is green, one is red and white. So Chitra Arpita Manushyanam, of the beings, human, Vastra Abhasaha, varieties of Vastra, Pratak Pratak, differentiating each other. Chitra Adharena Vastrena, even though it is so, but the support of that is the plain white canvas. The Sadrsha Eva Kalpita, even though at the background of it all is nothing but the canvas, but when we look at the picture, we forget that. We forget the support, Adhara. And the other day I was thinking, Aradhyam Eva, Adharam Eva Aradhyam. Jo Adhar hai, we Arad ke fit for Aradhana. So that which is the very Adhar, very support, we very conveniently forget because our attention is on what? Attention is on the variety. As even we look at this world, there are so many things are there. human beings, animals, birds, and aquatic creatures, trees and plants. But our attention, because Indriya sense organs are outgoing only. Paranchikani vidranat swayambhu tasmat parang pasyadenantaratman. The sense organs are designed to look only the variety. The tongue can only see the varieties of taste. Nose can only know the varieties of smell. Eyes can only see the colors and shapes. Ears can only listen to varieties of sounds. Touch, physical, the skin is also into various different sensations. Because they are designed to be like that. Tasmat parang pashyati, na antaratman. So the sense organs, as they only outgoing extrovert. Similarly, here, when the canvas seen with so many different colors, we naturally forget the Adhar. As even you are watching a movie, you are getting carried away by the emotions and the action and other things. And actually what you are looking at is a plain wall. A white plain wall. That's all it is. And looking at a wall, how are you crying? I don't understand that. We are getting carried away by the emotion which is invoked within us. Nothing is happening actually there. On the screen, there is nothing. A plain white screen. Think about it. You're sitting in front of the screen and start crying. Where nothing is there. So what do you call somebody who does that? Pagal hai kya? Mad. One boy came to his friend's house and they had a big, microwave and he stood next to it and he kept on watching that. So the friend's mom came and said, "What are you looking at?" That one. "And why are you looking at it?" "Because in my home, the TV stopped working. So I have the habit of looking at something mindlessly." It is called mental chewing gum. Watching TV is called mental chewing gum. Why? Because chewing gum, when you might have all had, first few moments only there is taste. Afterwards, one keep on chewing. Nothing is there actually. Similarly, mind also wants to keep engaged in something. No production, no productivity. And keep on going on. Like a cow, keep on chewing. They have a purpose. Of course, they take the essence out of it and sit there in one corner and keep on chewing. That's why if the people, friends each other, the guy, hey guys, like guys only, guy. Anyway, so Pradak, we'll read this. I think we finished 7. Okay, we'll read together. Pradak Chidabasaha Chaitanyadhyasta Dehinam Alpyante Jivanamanaha Bahuda Samsarantyami Pradak Chidabasaha Chaitanyadhyasta Dehinam Kalpyante Jivanamanaha Bahuda Samsarantyami. Ami Jivanamanaha. Jivan iti namanaha. So those which are known as jivas, Ami, these, Bahuda Samsaranti. They are all constantly transmigrating. And the manyness is actually only apparent. Pratak Chidabasaha. Chidabasa is appearing to be of different each other, though Chid is only one. Abhasa is many. In Bhagavad Gita also, when Bhagavan Krishna talks about Natvevaham jatunasam natvam neme janadipaha Nachaiva na bhavishyamaha sarve vayamata param. When he says this, you were not there before. I mean, you were never absent before. You will never be absent in the future. Natvam ime janadipaha. Even these beings whom we are seeing as your own, cousins and uncles and all others, they were also never absent in the past. Never will be absent in the future. Nattu eva aham. Not me, not you, not any one of them will be absent. Were absent in the past, nor they will ever be absent in the future. When he says in plural, what it means is the appearance of individualities. Because there cannot be manyness in eternality. Eternal, when you say, it must be one only. Infinites are many. Something wrong with you? Infinite, when you say, not only time, I'm talking about space also. So, you cannot say there are many spaces. That which is infinite, all-pervading, cannot be many. It has to be one. So why then he put the plural there? Because we are seeing the plural. So when it says Chidabasaha, reflections are many. Even though the sun is only one, but the containers of various types are reflecting the same light. There are many, then we will say there are many lights. But there are no many lights. One light appearing as many. So, Pratak Chidabasaha Chaitanya Adhyasta Dehina. Chaitanye Adhyasta Dehina. Adhyasta superimposed. Chaitanye in the consciousness, superimposed Dehina, of the physical bodies appearing to be distinguishing from each other. Kalpyante is being imagined as jivanamana, as jivas, as individual jivas. Bahuda saranti. And they, various ways, they are engaging as well as subject to transmigration. Evam paramatmani aropitanam devadinam shariranam eva jivanamana. This way, Paramatmani Aropitanam, that which are superimposed upon the oneself, Devadinam, Deva, Manushya, Mruga Ityadinam, Shariranam Eva, because of their varieties of bodies, Jivanamanaha, as individual jivas, Chidabasaha, reflected consciousness, Pratyegam Kalpyante. Is individually imagined. So coming back to the picture, again, the canvas is one only, but there is a man, there is a woman, there is a dog, there is a cat, there is this, and there is a tree, there is a plant, etc. So leaving aside the inert objects, all the living beings are distinguishingly wearing different colors and dresses. So we think this is different, this is a man, this is a king, this is a soldier, this is a mantri, this is a palanquin. And so why that individuals are also differently seen by us, on what basis? If you look at the canvas, it is the same. Our Gurudev used to give the example of a tablecloth on which there is embroidery of one, in a dining table you put the design embroidered. What is embroidered? That was a family sitting together, and there is a table, there are a lot of fruits kept there, vegetables, and there are chairs there, and individual, everybody is sitting there. So each one is different colors, wearing dress, etc. But if you pull the thread from below, all of them will disappear. Because the thread which is making the entire embroidery possible, when the one thread probably when it's removed, because on the thread only different colors are made. Nothing will be there. Purnamadaha, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamudachyate, Purnasya, Purnamada, Purnameva Avashishyate. That's what will remain there only, one. So, Bahuda Samsaranti, Tesham Tat Katham Kalpane Karanamaha. What is the reason why the variety is seen? Ami Jivaha, all these living beings, Deva Tiryang Manushyade Sharira Praptya, Due to having individual bodies, Bahuta Samsaranti appears to be different. Here, Sharira includes Sukshma Sharira also, because variety is not because of only physical bodies, the individual subtle bodies also distinguishing each other, which is nothing but ayatanam of karma and jnana. Karma and jnana ayatanatvat sukshma shariram api bahuta eva samsaranti. Na paramatma. That is the point here. Samsaranti jiva namana na paramatma. The canvas is one, but the varieties are only in the colors. Tasya nirvikaritvat. Why it being unchanging? Iti abhipraya. That is how it should be understood. So, continuing in the verse number 8. Vastrabhasastitan varnan yadvad adara vastragan vadantya ajnastata jiva samsaram chidgatam viduhu. Vastrabhasastitan varnan yadvada aravastrakan vadantyajnastata jiva samsaram chidgatam viduhu. Vastra abhasastitan varnan. Abhasa, again, reflection or varieties. Vastre abhasastitan. Vastre, because of the clothes that they are wearing are of different things. Now, if you look at it, our Gurudev say we are very well packaged. The dress that we wear is the outermost package. When you're buying anything, the package, especially the Amazon, there must be only small item they would have put a package of plastic wrap and this and that, and then there's a huge box. You thought that something huge you are getting. Open, there's a plastic wrap. Open, there's another pack. Open, Chotu sitting there. Similarly, our physical body, we have varieties of colors. Some people, when you go to a party with a new dress, today you are looking nice. What do you mean by that? Yesterday was not because your dress is nice. Dress is what they are appreciating, not you. Understand that. New necklace, even though you have no necklace, but you are wearing necklace. So the varieties of things that we wear, that's the outermost package. After that, we have body. That is another package. There's outer skin, inner skin, flesh, fat, everything. All these are packaged. Finally, sorry to say, when a person dies, what skeleton, all skeleton look alike or not? Yes or no? You are saying? All skeleton also look alike only. There's no difference. You ask a doctor. What's called cavern? What is it called? Yesterday I was talking about in the Bhajagovindam about Yavat pavano nivasati dehe tavat pruchati kushalam gehe katavadivayo deha paye bharya vipadi tasmin kai. Right? See, interesting thing is, if I'm there with you, I'm not afraid of you. Let's say somebody locked this door and you're all here. Okay? So I'm talking to you and all those things. Let us say all of you are dead. I will be so afraid to be here. Why? I cannot. You can think about it. All of us dead. You are alone there. What do you think? Why are you afraid? Body is there, no? Why? Tell me. See, body is inert. Even the chair is inert. Are you afraid of this chair? Inert. I'm afraid of this, No, you're not afraid of this. But in place of this, there is a body. Then why are you afraid? See, you're not afraid of the body, you're afraid of the status of the body in which originally there was life and there was no life, and you are relating yourself, I will also be like that. This is the fear. You're not afraid of this inert things here, table is there, chair is there, so many things are inert there. Are you afraid of them? When the physical body of a person, where the body is there and no life, these also have no life. Are you afraid? I'm afraid of this computer, no? There's no life. No. Whereas the body which was alive and now there is no life, look at it, you feel so. If you look at a bird which is dead, you don't get that much fear. Why? Because you can't relate that much. Like human I am, this is also human, I am alive, it is not. So what is that which you call it as nameless, formless presence? So there is a difference between inert and non-inert or sentient. So that is what he's trying to point out here. Vastra abhasastitan, Chatra abhasastitan varnan yat vat adara vastragan vadanti agnya tata jiva samsaram chidgatam viduhu. First one is Jiva samsaram chidgatam idi viduhu agnaha. The samsara which belong to, the transmigration and all the changes which belong to Jiva, the apparent individual, Jiva samsaram chidgatam idi agnaha viduhu. And vadanti. Vadanti agnaha tata jiva samsaram chidgatam viduhu. Chidgatam means it is belonging to chit, consciousness. Idi vadanti. They, by their mistake or ignorance, agnaha, agnanin, those people who are ignorant, they think and say that what belongs to the jiva, the apparent illusory personality, transmigration, as though it belongs to the consciousness. So the fear is that I as an individual will not be there. The moment you understand or contemplate that I as consciousness will never be absent, you're not going to be afraid of anything. That is called Amrita Swabhava. That's going to be taken up later. What is that thinking? Very interesting way of presenting. Now you'll come to the deeper part now. What is that you are afraid of? What is that which is transmigrating? The transmigrating one is superimposed upon the ever-present one. Therefore, vastra abhasa sthitan varnan. Example here is the varieties of colors which are only on the clothes that are being painted as though as individuals. Yadvat adhara vastragan, as though it looks like the canvas has changed the color. Canvas has not changed the color. When it's come to especially oil paint or any other color, you can even erase it. There are color eraser also. When you color erase it, all become white. The original white color will come back again. Why? It is only on that's why it's called painted. Why is it called painted? You paint. Lipstick. That's why it's a stick. It is sticking onto the lip. It's a lipstick. So that it can be removed. one person went to a doctor and said, my wife is planning to kill me. It's a Polish person. So Polish, from Poland. He went to the doctor and said, my wife is ready to kill me. How do you know? He said, I found out, I never go to her dressing table. Yesterday when I found in her dressing table, there was a liquid, he said, Polish eraser. I'll be erased. Poor joke, Swamiji. Poor joke. So you see, just like the color which is painted on the canvas appears to make like canvas is colorful, in the same way, the jivas who are essentially transmigrating, subject to constant change, is being superimposed upon the pure consciousness which is not subject to any change. Ajnaha vadanti tata jiva samsaram chidgatam iti. The samsara which belongs to the jiva only, to that sukshma sharira and sthula sharira only, is attributed to, by mistake, by ignorance, to the consciousness. But what about the trees and plants? I mean, what about the mountains and other things which are, as I said, you're not afraid of the chairs and tables because they essentially do not have life by themselves. So even as they are present in front of you, or you are not you do not have, you don't start talking to them at least. No. When I had online class only when during the COVID, I was talking to the chairs. Nobody was there. If somebody doesn't know that I am doing an online class, if somebody walks in. So what happens is, who are you talking to? When the first time when they had this, called what do you call it? Phone with this, which had the, what do you call that? A Bluetooth, right? So I did not know. So one person inside the car, nobody was there. They were just talking. Who is he talking to? There's no phone also seen. And both the hands are on the steering wheel. And he's talking loudly. Who was he talking to? To the car? Big car. So obviously I'm not talking to these chairs and tables. So who's to the chairs and tables? Do they have samsara? Do they have the samsara, the transmigration? No, they don't. So we have to distinguish between who has the samsara and who does not. Who is subject to all this constant change and death and birth, etc., and which does not. So here, Chitrasta Parvadadinam Vastrabhaso na likyate Srishtista Mritikadinam Chidabhasastata nahi. हिंदी कहाँ से आए? वस्त्राभासो न लिप्यते सृष्टिस्त मृत्तिकादीनां चिदाभासस्तथा नहीं. हिंदी में बताया अभी. नहीं means not indeed. Chitrastha, staying in the picture or belong to the picture. Parvata adina, mountain, etc. Vastra abhasaha na lipyate. There is no abhasa. No, if you are painted the mountain, etc., there you do not have variety there. Meaning, they are not, the individuals are wearing various colors and ornaments, etc., but that is not the case with all the inert objects. So too, Srishtistha, in this very creation, Mrittikadina, mud, etc., Panchabhutas, water, fire, air, space, and other things, which are inert by nature, they have astitva na basakatva. Individually, they do not have awareness, but existence continues. Because as we saw in the previous 5 chapters are about Satswarupa Paramatma. That Viveka is what is spoken in the first 5 chapters. In this chapter onwards, for 6 to 12, is about the Chid nature of the Paramatma. So, that Chid Abhasa, it is not Chadabhasaha tada nahi. Hai nahi usme. What? Mrittikadinam Chidabhasaha tada nahi. In the same way, as much as the distinguishing colors that are found to indicate the individuals in a picture does not apply to the mountain, etc. So too in this world, the other inert objects do not have the reflection of consciousness. So when the sunlight is there, sunlight is equally illuminating all, but not all of them re-illuminate. Individually we are, even though consciousness is present everywhere, akashavat, but we out of that sukshma sharira are able to, all living beings are able to reflect at various degrees. As a human, we are able to exhibit more than other animals and birds and trees and plants. But devatas are able to shine much more. That's why called they are devatas. Dhotanat deva iti uchate. They are able to reflect much more brilliantly. So why it is so? Because their physical body is not being there. The impurities are far less. They do not have physical body like what we have. So therefore, their presence, the brilliance is much more. Why? Because the impurities of the body do not belong, do not get affected, do not influence the Chidabhasa there. So Chidabhasaha tada nahi. They do not have. I mean, the inert objects do not have the reflection of consciousness. So when we say consciousness, as I said in the previous class also, usually the self is referred as consciousness, but really speaking, consciousness is one aspect of it. Existence, consciousness, and bliss. So in general, we say consciousness, we mean self, which includes sattvatva, satyatva, and prakashatva. Existence and awareness and bliss. So here we should understand that no distinguishing features are found in inert objects while they do not undergo any samsara and they do not have any Chidabhasa also. See, the nature of Chidabhasa is, as an individual, is identification. What is the nature of Chidabhasa? Chidabhasa is Antaryamin. But when you translate into Sukshma Sharira, it is already stepped down. What it does, that as it becomes a Sukshma Sharira, it has already started to identify as an individual, identifying with its own thoughts and emotions and feelings, much more than, again, further down, it further goes to identify with the physical body and distinguishing oneself, I'm different from you. I want this, I don't want this, I like this, I don't like this. So individual gets stronger and stronger as the identification becomes grosser and grosser. Isn't it? See, when you as a family, when you are living as a family, then obviously your identification remains only with respect to me, my wife, my husband, my children, my dog, my cat, only that, right? Then you are going from here to a marriage where your cousin is getting married or cousin sisters. Then when you go and land there, my uncle, my grand uncle, so it expands. When you are here at home, your identification is limited. When you go to a family gathering, it becomes a little more. Then we are going to a community gathering, Guju gathering. सब गुजू मेरा हमारा अपन का मनुष्य अपना मनुष्य मराठी येतिद्दे नम्मवरु मनवाडु. It becomes expanded. Then get Bharat, मैं भारतीय हूं. Further expands. मनुष्य हूं, जीव हूं. So it goes on expanding. And then we say, I'm Brahman, then what happens? Your identification is lost. Right? Because whom do you, identification means what? Defining and separating. When you say मैं Brahma हूं, then you are finished. Then there is no way you can call it yourself as an individual there. So when we start focusing on the canvas, we realize all the distinguishing features that are there have disappeared. But our attention is not on that. Our attention is only on the individual. So therefore, the other inert objects do not have the ability to identify. See, only Chidabhasa has got that ability because it is individually shining, and then it is constantly identifying to Karana Sharira, Sukshma Sharira, and Stula Sharira. So, the mistake that we do is to think that the consciousness is caught up in the samsara. So continuing, he says, samsara paramartoyam samlagna svatma vastuni idi brantira vidya syat vidyaya esha nivartate. Samsara paramartoyam samlagna svatma vastuni idi brantira vidya syat vidyayaisha nivartate. Evam Atmani aropitasya samsarasya jnana nirvatyatva siddhaye tan moola bhuta bhutam avidyam aha. What is this? What is we call it as avidya or ignorance? Vidya na vidyate idi avidya. That is the definition. What is avidya? No vidya. That is called avidya. Not knowing. But vidya here to be understood not as a mere intellectual or scholarly wordy knowledge. And if that is the case, all the people who are scholars and professors must be, realized souls. ऐसा नहीं होता है. मुझे मालूम है. सब उपनिषद मालूम है. If you touch any part of my body, I'll start. So, विद्याधर में, विद्याधर हूं मैं. Vidyam dharati vidyadhara. I am a person of knowledge. But here, avidya is confusion. Confusion about what? Confusion about this is king. Samsara swatma vastuni ayam samlagna samsara paramartha iti branti. Paramartha here should be understood considering it as real. Swatma vastuni, in this inner self, one's own self, samlagna samsara ayam. This samlagna, samyukta, samyuktam, associated, samsara, samyukta samsara. This associated transmigration is real, paramartha iti branti. This kind of a delusion is avidya. That is called real true ignorance. Ignorance is not having the subjective knowledge, but having the confusion that self is subject to transmigration. This is what is called avidya. And how will it go? Esha vidyaya nivartate. By the correct knowledge alone, it will go. Here, knowledge again is not just merely what is heard from a teacher or read in the book. One must change the way of looking at things. Wahi hai vidya. The thinking has to change. The perception has to change. The priority has to change. The focus has to change. The outlook has to change. Why it is so? You'll be talking about that. How that is important. A vicharam kartavyam. Vichar karniya hai. Karvanuch hai. Right? You have to think. So many Gujarati, I have to talk in Gujarati also slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. So one has to think correctly, and then alone this Esha Avidya Vidyaya Nivartate. By that correct knowledge alone, it can go. Ka iyam vidya. What is this called as vidya? Tallabha upayascha ka iti akankshayam vidyaswarupam tallabha upayam cha darshayati. What is this? What you call is acquirement of correct knowledge. How does it become a method of removing this confusion? All Upanishad or even Gita, you take, the whole problem started with not thinking right. Kyun? Sochte bhi nahi hai. Swamiji, that's the last thing I can do. Think. You are unfit to be a Vedanta student if you are not ready to think. No magic is going to happen. The magic definitely will happen when the thinking changes. You are sending the children also to school for what? Swamiji, I am sending my child to school so that he will become a champion of soccer. The idea is that fellow has to grow in thinking, making decisions right, able to clearly understand what is good and what is not good, what is right, what is not right. The game karne ke liye, why not? You just put him in a sports club. No, why are you in school? So that intention of education is to think. So how thinking helps an individual to overcome, and how Jivan Mukti is possible by thinking. Jivan Mukti is not an accident, it's a growth. It's elevating yourself to a higher level of living. That we'll see in the next class. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kasyat Dukkha Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.